Great to be with you and to talk about the movie The Bad Guys. Just wondering, first of all, maybe for Aaron, what inspired this concept of a book? It's a series of graphic novels that you wrote, and then maybe for Pierre, why make it into a movie?
Okay, I'll go first. I wrote the book because I had a 6-year-old at the time, who's now 14, but he was 6, and he was being sent home from school with books that he was finding so boring that they would make him cry. So I thought, wouldn't it be wonderful if I could write something that he enjoyed reading as much as he enjoyed playing a computer game or watching a movie? And I thought, at the time, I was also wanting to write something about prejudice and about characters being judged simply because of the way they looked. And I thought, how could I do that and make it? And at the time, my son was really into scary animals and cool cars. And I kind of mixed all of those impulses together, and The Bad Guys came out. And they were filtered through a lot of stuff that I've, loved in movies over the years too. So that's how it came to be. And then I wrote the books, and then it sort of the torch was passed from me to Pierre.
And for me, it was like basically the same thing. It was just seeing that giant big idea that Aaron had created, and finding seeing through this the opportunity to tell a great message, which is again about prejudice and about like inclusion and about like understanding. But through incredibly fun, characters, and through incredibly fun universe, and that through also movie references, that he managed to convey even through that first book, in that cover, and yeah, I think that's how it came to be. To me, it clicked immediately. Just it was so obvious to make it a cinematic experience out of these books that kind of ran with it.
So, of course, I'm a priest, so I approach these things as a person of faith. And I look at the theme that I saw prevalent in The Bad Guys. And, they're bad guys. They've pulled off all these heists, but now they want to change their life, or at least that's what it seems like, because they don't want to go to jail or anything like that. And so they begin to experience this change of life, and want to be good. And so, of course, in a faith perspective, I'd call this conversion. They're trying to change their life. And sometimes we fall backwards in trying to do that. But did faith have any aspect of influence in this film and book series?
Look, for me, my favorite character in the book series, the one that I find the most interesting to write, is Mr. Snake, because he struggles the most with that journey, and he struggles the most with staying on the path. And I find the tension that comes with that is the most satisfying to create. And yes, of course, it is about treading that line about what is, good behavior, what is negative behavior, and trying to find ways to live your life in the best possible way. And that is something that I wanted to sort of seep into the books and come out, so that kids absorb that kind of message almost subliminally, so that they absorb that as they read, whilst they're having a good time reading all the other things. That can be the takeaway. So yes, you're absolutely right.
What do you hope the biggest takeaway will be when young people watch this film?
Well, to me, it's a message of hope, and a message of there's always like second chances to be had, and there's always ways for you to reinvent or rethink your life, and change the way you were. If you were flawed, well, there's you can improve. You can always improve. You can always discover new things about yourself, and don't necessarily let all the circumstances play against you. Just trust yourself to be able to just overcome all those the adversity that you may be facing, and also from the other side is also be careful about judging someone without knowing that person well. There's always something deeper than that, and people have their reasons to be the way they are. So I think it's all of that mixed together. It's like pretty deep message, and it's all about being mindful.
Well, thanks so much for your time today.
Of course,
Thank
Blabey.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.